Hey, John Crestani here, online marketer and tech entrepreneur, and I'm going to be discussing cold calling, what it is, does it still work, and hold on, I have a call coming in. Hello? Yeah, who is this? No, I don't want a free cruise. Stop calling me. Sorry, that was just another cold call. So I'm going to talk, and then I'll talk about 4 questions to ask in every cold call you make if you do that for a living. So we're going to talk about all this in just a second and going over the 4 things you ask. Let's get into it. Folks, if you still get cold calls, if you still get unwarranted calls, that means it works. The only reason people are still cold calling is because it works. If there was no money doing it, nobody would be doing it. People don't just want to annoy people. There are companies and individuals all across the world that are making a living doing cold calling, so it's not dead at all. Now, as I just illustrated, cold calling is when you just get a call from somebody you don't know, which is considered cold, meaning they're not a warm referral, which is a term that's used in sales and marketing. They are a cold person because they've never actually spoken to the person calling them before. So it still works. That's what it is. And yes, it still works because people are still doing it. I get so many calls every single day from people just trying to sell me stuff. It's ridiculous. So it works, and let me go over some questions you're going to want to ask people if you're doing this for your own business. Now, before I get into the questions, I'll give you a little story about myself. I actually do cold calling in my business all the time, and I do it because it's not my main part of business, but whenever I need to get in contact with somebody that can help me in some way in my business or what have you, I make a point to go out there, find their information, which is called prospecting, and give them a call or send them a message. A cold message or a cold call, it doesn't matter to me, because if there's somebody who has knowledge or information or connections or access or equipment that I could use to make more money, and the only thing between me making more money is connecting with a particular individual, I find a way to connect with them, because that is an obstacle I need to overcome. There's lots of resources online to find out ways to connect with other people, and I get very targeted though. So for instance, I'm shooting a infomercial, and I needed to find some successful infomercial consultants. Now, what I did was I made a list. I made a list of about 20 people that would be able to help me write a winning infomercial that would be able to help me market on TV. And I contacted all of those people. None of them I'd ever known before, but I made my list. I checked it twice. I put in their information on there, and I did outreach to all 20 of those people. Now, once again, I wasn't looking to get money from any of these people. What I was looking to get was information on how to write a winning TV ad that where every dollar I spent, I would make back 3. And I was able to do that. And it's been amazing for my business to be able to connect with pieces. There aren't many people who know how to write successful TV ads, but I was able to do that through a targeted prospecting and cold calling just campaign. Now, the 4 things you want to ask if you are cold calling somebody is you want to make sure of 4 separate things here. 1, do they have the budget? Do they even have the money to afford the item you're selling? Most people are broke. Most people don't have a penny to their name. So are you speaking to an audience that has the money if they like your product? The next thing you need to understand and ask questions about is, do they have the authority to make the decision? Can they actually sign on the line when they purchase your product? Or do they need to talk with their wife or their business partner? The product you're selling, let's say you're selling the Google Jamboard. Are there multiple people involved in making this decision? You always want to make sure you're talking to the most important person who can make the decision. Because let's say they have the money to buy the product you're selling them, but they don't have the authority, your sale's dead. The next line of questioning you need to figure out is, do they have the need? Does this person actually need your product? If Google contacted you to sell you the Jamboard, which this thing costs, I don't know, it's like $5,000. Do you actually need a Jamboard, right? You're wasting your time if you're trying to sell a product to somebody who doesn't need it. Whereas weight loss is a good example of a product where there are a lot of fat people. So there's a lot of people you can talk to say, hey, do you want to lose weight? Now there's a lot of fat people, but not every person wants to lose weight. So you need to find somebody who wants to lose weight, who has that need, right? Or desire. And the fourth question you need to ask is, what sort of time frame are they looking to get the product or service that you're offering in? So again, you want to make sure the person has the money to purchase the product or service. You want to make sure that the person has the authority to make the decision. You want to make sure the person has the need for your product. They have the problem that your product solves. And also that they're willing to make it in the time frame, preferably now. The time frame is now, because we all need products and services, but we're not all looking to buy them right now. And if you're in sales or marketing, you need to find people who want to make that purchase right now, because when they make that purchase, you can actually make your money. Now, an example of what I used to do when I started off in cold calling, I was working for an internet company called National Positions, and I was making 100 cold calls a day, every single day. And we would open up with a line sort of like this to the businesses we worked with. I notice you are a respected dentist in the St. Louis area, but I've noticed that your website visibility, it's very low. It doesn't show up very high on Google. Nobody can really find you. Is that a concern for you, sir? That was basically the opening line I would do 100 times a day. Some people would get, most people get angry and hang up, but some people would say, a good percentage would say, yes, I have a website and it doesn't show up high on Google. This is a problem for me. And then we'd go into what our solution is. Because once we found out that they had the need, I went into other items to figure out, do they have the money? Are they looking to make a decision right now? And do they have business partners or not, so that they can make the decision when they actually want it? Now, this whole system is abbreviated BANT, okay? B-A-N-T, BANT. And this is a very proven way of doing sales. It works. But generally, in my case, I would start with their need. Every market's different. Some markets, everybody has the need, but they don't have the money. Some markets, everybody has, everybody's looking for the product right now. If we're talking about child custody, people are looking to get a hold of their child right now, and they need it. But do they have the budget to afford a lawyer that can work on child custody cases, or whatever the product or service that's being sold is? So you got to check all the boxes. You got to figure out if people can make the decision to make cold calling work and turn it into a real business. Now, I'd love to know who here does sales. Type in "I do sales" in the comments below. I'd love to know how many people do sales here, and tell me, what was the most interesting thing that you learned in this video? Was it just understanding what cold calling is? Maybe it was understanding the fact that it actually still works, or maybe the most interesting thing was one of the items here about the qualifying people to be good prospects. Let me know what your thoughts are. Give this video a big like. And if you're looking to learn more about sales and marketing, and especially affiliate marketing, which is what I do in my business, and we earn millions of dollars a year, make sure you subscribe, hit all the notifications. I look forward to talking to you soon. And look forward also, if you want to dive even deeper, join one of my communities or our communities. We have a number of communities. We have one on Discord if you like to chat with people. We have a Reddit community, which is like a forum. You can talk with people and post topics and help each other. And also a Facebook group. I have over 1 million people that watch this channel every single month now. And I really want to help keep people together and help you all learn from one another. Talk to you soon.